Welcome to Rhythm, a podcast on being in balance through conversations with the Swami. Namaste Rhythm listeners. My name is Sunil. I have Swami Tadananda from the Ramakrishna Vedanta Center in Auckland with me for another episode. How are you, Swamiji?
I'm very good, Sunil. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. In the last episode, Swamiji, you gave a challenge to our Rhythm listeners. You asked them to take 6 matchsticks and make equilateral triangles with them. And you mentioned that the solution to the puzzle would give valuable insight to where to seek solutions to challenges. Shall we continue today's episode from there?
Sure, Sunil. Yes, so the challenge was that we take 6 matchsticks and we are asked to form 6 equilateral triangles with them. Four equilateral triangles with them. And so if our listeners really took those matchsticks and put them on a table and started making triangles, they make one triangle with 3 matchsticks, they add another 2 matchsticks, and from the second triangle, now they have got 1 matchstick left. And then they're trying so hard. After some time, they will realize that it is not possible to form 4 triangles, equilateral triangles, with those 6 sticks. If he continues to make those triangles on the 2-dimensional surface, it might take some time to come to that realization, and that is what is called the intelligence, the buddhi. It fires and says, it might take a long time. They're trying, after 5 minutes, they're still struggling, but another person just picks up in a few seconds, says, it's not going to happen. But I did say that there's a solution is there. And the solution is when one goes from the 2-dimensional surface to a 3-dimensional space, and you get a triangular prism.
Yes.
Okay. So a solution exists, but not in 2 dimensions, in 3 dimensions. No matter how long we struggle on 2 dimensions, whether it's 2 minutes or 2 hours, the solution will not appear there. What we are trying to get across to our listeners with the help of this example is that most of the time, the solution to a problem exists in one level higher than the problem itself.
Okay, right.
Okay, the solution exists in a 3-dimension, not on the 2-dimension. So let's take that example. If there's a physical problem, material problem, like many things are happening through education, through training, using our brain mental power, which is one dimension higher.
Correct.
We design so many solutions. Correct. For example, something suddenly hits the whole world like a virus, like COVID. Yes. Okay, physically it has stopped everything. We are locked out and everything.
Yes.
But then we use our intellectual capacity. Scientists, researchers who are trained,
yes,
they find out what's the process, the virus, the disease, the nature of, and then they, after some time, using knowledge, they bring out a vaccine. Okay. Now, if this had happened 1 century back, when we didn't have that type of knowledge, maybe half the population of the world would have been wiped out.
That's right. Yeah.
See how much difference knowledge makes. And so, the moment that knowledge is applied, you got a solution, bring out the vaccine, boost your immunity, and out in the world again.
Yes.
When you talk about mental well-being, the problem, emotional problem, and all those problems are in the mental dimension. Because mind and body are connected, it will also reflect and show in the physical. So you'll feel really low, very low in energy, no enthusiasm, inertia. Sometimes it might even be psychosomatic pain in this and that all comes, But the problem is in the mental level. And from our triangle, forming 4 triangles paradigm, what do we learn? If it's a mental problem, the solution does not necessarily exist in the mental level. It exists in one level higher.
That's right. Okay. Wow.
So the question we ask is, so what is that one level higher inside us? Okay. And so because if you do not apply this principle, then you try to solve it at the same level, which is counseling. Little bit of cosmetic.
Yes.
Surface, for a while the counselor is talking nice things, you feel good, but then you go back into that. Or sometimes you apply a material type of solution, which is your medication.
Yes.
Okay. So for a while,
Physical.
it's not going one level up, it's going one level down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it suppresses it, pushes the problem, it doesn't solve it. Okay. In extreme cases, it's helpful. Okay, because it's gone out of control, you have to calm yourself down and things and again. But otherwise, you become addicted to it and you require it all the time. You're not the same joyful person anymore, more of a person dependent on medication all the time, become a little zombie type of thing. But that's when, I'm not saying that should not be given, but how do we prevent these problems happening? How do we prevent a person from slipping down that slope where
it's that bad?
That bad.
Yeah.
So our approach is proactively prevent the solution, knowing that these risks are there, how we can empower ourselves by developing some life-saving knowledge, acquiring some life-saving knowledge and skills to be masters of our own mind and emotions and not be swept away when life throws those challenges. Knowing the risks are there, we have to be proactive. Knowing that the virus might come, we take the vaccine and only then go out there. So this various type of infections, emotional infections and all those you might say are there in this world. We must protect ourselves before we go. Build a firewall type of thing. So then the question comes, so what is the third dimension? We are all familiar with the physical dimension, the physical body. Have that whole sense of awareness of our weight, gender, color, and all those things. And then there's this mental level in which emotions, knowledge, intellectual sense of values, right, wrong, good, bad, dharma, adharma, all those things are there. And then for most people, there's an ego attached to this. I am this type of identity comes. So what is that third dimension that is? We would like to define or use the term spiritual intelligence to that faculty inside us.
SI.
Okay. AI is artificial intelligence, which is about meta technology, machines, computers. Okay. And we can become enslaved by that, and they will hijack our life, and we become slaves to that.
Yes.
Okay. They decide, make decisions in one way or the other, algorithms, whatever is there, or with that risk that is there. How do we counter that? That is to be countered by what is called this, in Sanskrit they call it buddhi. Buddhi is that discriminative intelligence that is able to discern the difference between one and the other, right and wrong, good and bad, proper and improper. And you'll find that maybe it's not so well developed in children.
Yes.
That's why they require constant parenting, watchfulness of mother all the time. Go to kindergarten, 2 teachers are trying to control 20. Go to primary school, 1 teacher is able to control more because the children are growing. In university, one professor is, they are all grown up, so
Yes.
they can manage. What is happening is that intelligence, the buddhi is evolving, and therefore they require less and less of. And so that's another subject on parenting and all that. But this faculty is there, and the best thing one can do in your life is to, with the help of our parents and teachers, is to develop this intelligence that is innate in all of us. Anything can be exercised and developed systematically. We talked about in the beginning about how exercises in a systematic way bring out strength, physical, mental, and all that. And so what are the exercises and what is this spiritual intelligence? This is a profound topic. It's there available in all of us. We use a little bit of it. Most of the time we don't, because we have not exercised it and developed it. And therefore we deny ourselves that wonderful control that we can exercise on our own mind, because the solution is at that level.
It's at a higher level.
It's a high level. So like I'm talking to you, in my mind, I've got some ideas. okay, which I'd like to share in the discussion. So I choose certain words, phrases, sentences, examples, and I'm sharing with you, and I'm seeing your response. You're noting, you're asking questions, and all those things. The conversation is going on while this active mind is doing the thing. There's another person or entity in me, which is my reflective mind, the observer mind, which is observing my own thought process. What have I said? Have I said sufficiently? Shall I use another example?
Yes.
Okay, and it's making some decisions.
Mm.
That watchman, the observer, if it's very strong, then how you express, what you express, how much you say, all is very, very controlled and to the point, and everything is
Hits.
efficient.
Everything
Effective,
that comes out is
Yeah,
very effective.
because there's something controlling the mind.
Right. They're able to understand responses and
Yeah.
engage.
So they said it's a control on the mind.
Yes.
Now, when that control is not there, and some people you'll find that it's not about age and things, is they just simply talk and they do not know it to stop, and you'll find that, and they're repeating the same thing and blabbering on. This is just going on as if there's no control and behind it, and so it reflects that. Or they go in irrelevant things, say the thing at the wrong time.
Yes.
Okay, tactless, you might say, why did he say this?
Yeah.
But because that buddhi was not there guiding him, I should not be saying this.
Yeah. Not firing it.
I see. So that is the faculty. The secret of mental well-being is to develop that faculty. It's present in all of us. But if it's not exercised, it doesn't develop. Meditation is actually the art and science of developing that innate spiritual intelligence that is inside us. And then it can be applied for anything. In our everyday decision making, in our education, at our work, in everything. We'll come to that, but that's where the solution is. Always remember, in this triangle, paradigm, the solution of mental well-being, emotional well-being, is in that discrimination, spiritual intelligence that is potentially present in all of us.
Right.
In some people it is shining, in others, and we say buddhiman hai.
Yes.
And others it is not shining so much. They say buddhu hai. But it's all about that. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna talks to Arjuna about that buddhi. Buddhi yoga, they call it, especially. It's a spiritual topic. But today, we've just given you a hint.
Right.
Where the solution to our inner problems, it's our own problem in our own mind space.
Yes.
We're not able to manage them, so it's creating confusion. We need to develop another faculty one level higher and then master the mind. So we can say what we are trying to talk about is mind management techniques.
Right.
Okay, mind management techniques, emotions, value systems, decision making the right decisions at the right time. These are all wonderful skills
to have. Yes. In anyone's toolbox, right?
Yes.
Whether it be
all the time,
whether it be personal life or work life,
everywhere. And it's only when we make wrong decisions and continue to make wrong decisions that somewhere down the line we end up in some ditch.
Yes.
But if we are able to identify our mistakes and rectify ourselves, then it's, most of the time we'll be able to zoom back to the right trajectory. Who is going to help us? There might be somebody around you. There might be a supervisor, might be a parent, somebody, a teacher. But in life, as you grow up, you'll find that you take less of advice and more on your own.
Yes.
Who is going to help? Well, not many. But if there's an inner guide, an inner tool that is available to you that you can resort in your time of need and be your own navigator. That is the proposition of why we should do meditation. Actually, it's not about self-realization, God realization. No. Those are higher things. That's fine. But in our everyday life, this is a very, very powerful tool. And if we spend 10-15 minutes a day, just a simple exercise of meditation, and we'll do that in a future episode, that itself will set us in the right direction.
Excellent. That's good. Definitely looking forward to that episode, Swamiji. In the meantime, I'm still want to finish off the emotional well-being part today. Some of it. I don't think we'll finish everything, but whatever is left. I think that you raised in the last episode, Swamiji, you talked about detachment from people and not having expectations from them. I hope our listeners have had some time to think about it. Are we able to explore that a bit further today? Depending on what time we've got left. I think we still have some more time left. Yes, we do. So instead of starting on meditation,
Understood.
and that topic just now, let's just finish up the emotional well-being, and then we'll come back to the others.
About detachment.
Yes,
Letting go.
Shaking
it off. Mentally shaking it off, like the donkey shook it off physically,
Yes.
But it's all about mental example we give because it's easier to describe, So let's give another story.
Yes.
Okay. So there was a kingfisher sitting on the bank of a river, waiting to find some little fish that
Kingfisher bird.
kingfisher bird, and some fishermen had gone out fishing, brought out some small sardines and fish, so that and the kingfisher just swooped down and picked one up and took off. Finding some place where he'll sit down nicely and enjoy his meal. And suddenly it heard some sound behind him. Looked around and there was a flock of crows. And he thought, maybe I'm just in the way. So he changed his direction and looked around and they're behind him also. So it went left, right, above, below, in whichever direction it's going, the crows are following. And in that hustle bustle, the fish slipped out of its beak. And then suddenly all the noise stopped behind him. And he looked down and all the crows were going after the fish. And so the kingfisher, relieved of that was being pursued by the crows, went and sat down on the branch and reflected on that. And he said, for a while I thought they were after me. But they were not really after me. They were after that fish.
Yes.
The moment I let it go, I didn't let it go, it slipped out. Actually.
Yes.
They went after it, and I have been relieved of being chased by this. So you'll find that in life, when problems pursue you, look for the fish that we're carrying.
Or the attachments that we have.
Yes. Something that I have and not letting go, and the problems are chasing that. But we might personalize it like that, it's chasing me type of thing. And the secret is if you can identify what is the cause. Like, you say, for example, somebody bought a car, very expensive car, Rolls Royce, think you'll enjoy it. And now it's not able to serve the mortgage. Okay, so problems, bank is behind him.
Yes.
Okay, so if he identifies, why is the bank chasing him? It's not that he's got some personal enmity, he's got owes the money. So he might say, this is the cause. I've enjoyed it for a while. I know it's not as greatest thing,
Yes.
It is. If I need, I can always rent one and go for speed, whatever. But let me go, let go.
Yes. Let me let go of the car. And the problem.
And the bank stops.
Challenge.
Stops troubling him again. See, so the problem was not the bank personally trying to pursue him. It was something that he had, which was the cause. So in life, we'll find that we possess so many things. And these possessions become the cause of many problems that pursue us. Let go of that fish like that kingfisher had. And the problems will also let you be.
Somebody that's easier when there's material things that you're after. Because material things are easier to
it's an example.
Get and to give up. But other things, we talked about relationships earlier, and those are the ones that are harder because you're dealing with humans and you have relationships with them. So those ones get really difficult to let go, and that letting go bit is the one I think would intrigue a lot of the listeners, including myself. How is that done in a way that
it's not painful?
Not painful for either the people that are involved.
Yes. So Swami Vivekananda says, what does Vedanta teach us? It says, know the world so that the world may not hurt us. Problem is we get hurt by the world. Because we go out there in the battlefield, we get cut and bruised and this and that. See? So letting go is not so difficult. Actually, it's one of the most natural things we do all the time. But there's a psychology behind it. For example, if somebody, a child, gave you a bicycle and you love that bicycle and you're so attached to it that you'll not share it with anyone, sort of, because your attachment, this is mine, it's a great sense of joy, and this is like it's like identified with you. But another person comes and says, hey, Sunil, I would like to give you a motorcycle. Okay, but the condition is, will you give me that bicycle? So you look at the motorcycle and you think of the speed and control. I said, hey, sure, definitely, please take the bicycle if I can get that. So you let go the bicycle, which was yesterday you're not going to give to anyone.
Yes.
But you let it go. Why? Because you got something that is better or greater value. Okay.
Yes.
And so then somebody comes, and now you're not going to let that motorcycle to anyone, but here comes somebody says, I'll give you a car. Again, you let go.
Yeah. As long as you're moving up, you're happy to let go.
Yes. So somebody joins a company, has a good job, and if the boss comes and says, hey, you don't have this job tomorrow, you're absolutely shocked because you need that,
Yes.
But if the boss says in the next sentence, I'm going to take that job away from you, if he stops there, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
But I'm going to promote you as the manager now.
Yes.
I say, boss, please take it. Definitely, I'm happy to give this up. Why?
Yes.
Because you got a job that gives you a higher salary, responsibility, benefits, and all those things. You don't cry about, oh, yesterday I had a job of a clerk and I'm so sad, because you got something better. So the principle here is that we are happy to renounce. We always renounce something that is less valuable, less significant, less important in exchange for something better, higher, more valuable.
Right. So if we apply the principles to our personal relationships as well.
Yeah. So
this is not saying you replace, for example, your current partner with another partner.
No.
Because it's swapping like for like.
Yeah. So initially it might be a relationship that might be at a very physical level.
Yes.
Okay. But is that what it is? Are we just physical beings? Oh no, we are spiritual beings or emotional beings or something. Can we have a spiritual relationship or more mature emotional relationship that is not really tied down to a very gross physical level? If we evolve, many people do, then they can continue that. It's more fulfilling. It is mutually beneficial, but we elevated it to another level. And in Vedanta, it says everything can be spiritualized, because at the core of this whole existence in all beings, we are spiritual beings, and the foundation of this whole universe is a spiritual entity. And in that highest dimension is the solution to all the problems. So if we are trying to find the solution on the 2 dimension, okay, we'll not find it. After some time we discover. Okay. But the solution exists in a higher level, and that is what life is trying to teach us. It says, wake up. You can do better. Don't be stuck at that gross physical level, which we have to abandon anyway. Change is the nature of everything here in this world. You can have something temporarily, but when you try to make it permanent, then you're trying to find something which is not there. And that's a lesson that we all have to learn. Hard. Okay. We're trying to find permanent happiness, security, but it is not at that changing 2-dimensional level. It is at the 3rd level, higher level within us. And that's what life is trying to say. Let go of that fish. Let go of those lower level expectations and find the real thing. And that is what spirituality, Vedanta is all about. But this is bringing another topic, and we can take this up.
Makes us
more. But it's all about bringing those principles and even applying in our everyday life. It's not just at a very high spiritual level. It's called practical Vedanta. Then discovering the principles and applying in our everyday life as well as at the high level.
Excellent, Swamiji. That's very good. There's a lot to take in this. In the last 2 episodes, I believe the emotional well-being has been a step up. We could carry on, but we'll end the episode today, and we'll carry on this and many others in the future. So thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you, Sunil. We'll continue, as you say, some interesting topics. I look forward to having some questions from our listeners. go at a pace that and make it relevant to their needs.
Correct.
So, yeah, thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Being in balance, rhythm. For more information, please visit www.vedanta.nz.